Hello, it's Michael E. Gerber speaking to you from Carlsbad, California. We're having an extraordinary day today. It's the second episode in our series called Awakening the Entrepreneur Within. Our conversation today is about my new book, soon to be released. Yes, you'll have a copy of it, Making It on Your Own in America or wherever you happen to live. A journey toward radical self-employment. Now, what in the world do I mean about all that? Well, I'm going to give you an introduction to it today. We'll spend a little time together. You may have questions of me, questions about what I'm saying today, questions about what I've said in the past, the last session that we had, questions about any of my books. There are now 30 of them. Oh my goodness, 30 books. How did I ever find the energy to write those books? I don't even know. I really don't know where the energy comes from, but it comes, it shows up. And that's really what about what making it on your own is. It's about the energy shows up, because without the energy, nothing's going to happen. Do you understand? Without the passion, nothing's going to happen. Without the determination, nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen until you want it to happen. And you've got to want it to happen more than you've ever wanted anything to happen before. I want to say hello to Jordan, to JC, to Donna, to Kitty. Thanks for saying hello, guys, and thanks for joining me here. You're absolutely spectacular. And my producer is spectacular too, because if he hadn't held your names up, I wouldn't have known it. So absolutely incredible. Well, here we are working as a team to get a job done. And the job is simply a job that's not going to happen in a minute. No job happens in a minute. It's going to happen over time. It's going to happen together over time. It's going to be an experience over time, an evolution over time, a hierarchy of growth over time that's going to simply blow what your mind was before you began the climb. Yes, the evolution of being where you are to being where you're not, to doing things you've never imagined you could do and doing them better than you've ever done anything before is mind-blowing, simply mind-blowing to ordinary folks like you and me. Yep, I got to admit it, I haven't had a higher education. For whatever reason, I started to have a higher education, but there was something not higher about it. There's something off about it. There's something not practical about it. There was something not functional about it. It seemed that in that class, I had to put on a completely different frame of mind. And the frame of mind I had to put on was the frame of mind that my teacher was compelling me to put on. But my teacher didn't know about jazz, and my teacher didn't know about rap, and my teacher didn't know about music and poetry and art, and my teacher didn't know about all the things that we feel inside when we're attempting to discover something we've never discovered before. Every single one of you know what I'm talking about. Every single one of you have experienced the gap between where you are and where someone else expects you to be. Well, the gap between where you are and where somebody else expects you to be is eradicated here. I don't expect you to be anywhere other than where you are. And so Radical You, our trade school for entrepreneurial development, the only school of its kind on the planet, treats you in exactly the way you would wish to be treated, because it treats you as you are, not as we wish you to be. It treats you as you are, not as you wish you could be. It treats you with a blank piece of paper and beginner's mind. So what do we mean by making it on your own? And what do we mean by on a journey toward radical self-employment? Let's begin it. Let's begin it right here. Every single one of us live an economic life. Every single one of us live a social life. Every single one of us live a relational life, a familial life. Every single one of us have loved someone and may indeed love someone right now. Every single one of us have received love from someone and indeed wished there were more of that love to go around. I want to say that whoever you are and however you experience yourself is the grist for the mill that we're grinding here today. And the grist for the mill that we'll be grinding with you over the next 5 years, deciding to stay with us at Radical You to truly awaken the new entrepreneur within you. So let's talk about what that means, awakening the new entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is a creator. The entrepreneur is an Imagineer, as Walt Disney would call him. The entrepreneur lives in a blank piece of paper, a blank space of reality with a question, who am I? What's missing in this picture? What is it, in fact, that I'm here to do? I'd love to say this, and I need you to hear this in the way that I'm saying this, that if we were born in the image of God, as it said, then we're born to create. Hear me. If we're born in the image of God, as it said, and I believe it completely, wholeheartedly, then every single one of us are born to create. That's why we're here. That's why you and I are here as human beings. We're born to create. The problem is nobody has ever taught us how to create. Nobody has ever inspired us to create. Nobody has ever told us that, in fact, we had what it took to become a true entrepreneurial creator, or the creator of music, or the creator of poetry, or the creator of a novel, or the creator of a story of all life, or whatever it must mean for you to go beyond where you are and to describe who you are as you're passing through this interminable length of stretch and reach and growth and grasp. Do you understand what I'm saying? That life is this extraordinary gift that each of us have been given. And we were born with a blank piece of paper and beginner's mind to discover our role in it. Your role in it, my role in it, every human being's role in it. And every human being has a role in it. And that role is to be discovered, not by me, not by anyone else, but by you. That's why I say making it on your own in America or wherever you happen to live is in fact the great gestalt of our being. Every single one of us were meant to make it on our own, to find our own path, to create it, what it is and how it produces what it produces in a way that enables us to go to places we've never been before. So hear me, making it on your own in America or wherever you happen to live means going to places you've never been before and discovering them in exactly the way they show up. So exactly the way they show up is a huge question, isn't it? Because as things show up, as we come face to face with those things, as you and I experience those things that happen to us as we walk forward on this path that we've created for ourselves, we're constantly being put into question. Such questions as, why are you here? What do you know? Who are you? What do you expect to do? What do you want from me? Why do you look that way? Why do you talk that way? Why do you behave that way? Do you follow me? Ladies and gentlemen, do you follow me? Do you get the point? That effectively this entire experience from birth to death, this entire experience is an experience of awakening to the very last question. And the very last question, then what? Hear me. Now what? Then what? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now what? What's next? Then what? And we come face to face with the reality. We have no idea. You and I, we have no idea about then what. My mother passed at 96 years of age. I swear my mother at 96 looked like a woman of 60. My mother passed at 96 years of age. Her name was Helen. Her name is Helen. That beautiful woman, that extraordinary woman who never questioned me ever in my entire life to ask me, Michael, why are you doing what you're doing? Michael, why are you doing what you're doing? She never asked me that. She simply said to me, Michael, you'll find your way. Do you hear me? My mother said to me, Michael, don't worry about what everybody else is saying. You'll find your way. Your way is with God. I say to you, making it on your own in America or wherever you happen to live, on a path toward radical self-employment, that as we work together each and every other week that we're going to be together, as we work together in radical you, as you begin the eightfold path, the process that we have designed to enable every single human being on the planet to discover why you're here and what you're here to do, the economic reality of it, the social reality of it, the human reality of it, the passionate reality of it, the hopeful reality of it, the creative reality of it. You're here to move through that process to that final day when we never have an answer to that question. Then what? Hear me. We believe we know what life is, and we don't. But we have no idea what death is. None. Not the faintest idea what death is. If we're here for a purpose, and I've just shared with you what I believe our purpose is, if we're here for a purpose, and that's to create a world fit for God, if that's why human beings were created, to manifest that great being, that greatest of all great beings on the planet, to bring heaven to earth, if that's in fact why we're here, and I do it in my way, and you do it in your way, and Jordan does it in his way, and Luz Delia does it in her way, and Donna does it in her way, and Jim does it in his way, and Rob does it in his way, and Mary does it in her way. If in fact that's why we're here, and that's the actual point of radical you, that is why we're here, then obviously, as my mother said, follow your path, find your way, the way of the new entrepreneur, the way of the creator, the way of the Imagineer. You and I are here to do that. So what is the Eightfold Path? Let me describe it to you. It's very, very straightforward, although as you get immersed in it, you may get lost from time to time. I can absolutely assure you, you will. I've been lost from time to time, now 82. I discover myself anew every single day. I discover myself through the fears that I have, through the hopes that I have, through the excitement and passion that I have, through every imaginable experience that I have, continually moving forward, climbing this mountain of ours, this Taj Mahal of ours, this great growing, leaping beast of impossibility of ours. Yes, we all have this path that we're here to pursue. So anybody here who has a question as we go through this, please on chat, just chat with me. And my producer, Rob, will let me know what you're asking, and I'll try to respond to the time that we have. Let's talk about the path. The path is the eightfold path. The path starts with the dream, moves to the vision, moves to the purpose, and moves to the mission. In our first year at Radical You, that's all we focus on. What's your dream? What's your vision? What's your purpose? What's your mission? Every single one of you are familiar with that great dreamer, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "I have a dream." That sound, that resonance, that extraordinary, exquisite musical voice of his, who said, "I have a dream." And then he expressed his dream in the magical, musical, most munificent way that he did. I challenge each and every one of you to go listen to Dr. Martin Luther King express his dream. Do that frequently. Do that as soon as you leave this call. Do that, because as you do that, you'll feel the timbre of what it means when somebody realizes that he's here, born in the image of God, born to create, born as a human being for only one reason in the world, which is to create a world fit for God. And as that dream comes to pass, as that dream moves forward, then our job is to move it even more than that. Continually, continually, continually. Obviously, we can never rest. Look at the universe. How could we possibly rest? Look at the extraordinary things we don't understand. How could we possibly rest? We are so small. We are so tiny. We're so insignificant in our tiny little way. And we have this blessed passion for coming alive, unlike any human, any other being on the planet. We, human, each of us, have this extraordinary desire to come alive. So the path is the dream, the vision, the purpose, the mission, the job, the practice, the business, the enterprise. The dream is the great result we're here to produce. The vision is the form that great result is going to take. The purpose is the impact that's going to have on the person we're here to serve. And the fifth is the mission, or the system that will be absolutely essential if we're going to be able to realize our dream, our vision, our purpose, and our mission. Understand, our dream, our vision, our purpose, and our mission drives the whole thing. Without a dream, without a vision, without a purpose, without a mission, without an explicit dream, which is the great result we intend to produce, without an explicitly articulated vision, which is to create something that has form on the planet, a form that will enable that dream to become a reality. Without an explicit purpose, where we're truly determined to produce a result for the people we have created this great growing company of ours to produce, and that great system that's essential for all of the dream and the vision and the purpose and the mission to be integrated and to come into one, to become an extraordinary enterprise, to become an extraordinary reality that effectively can express itself continuously in ways that we're incapable of expressing right now. Which takes us to the job, the practice, the business, and the enterprise. The job is the client fulfillment system. It's the product you're there to sell. The practice is the client acquisition system. It's the way in which you attract prospective customers to you and convert them into clients. The business is nothing other than multiple practices, and the enterprise is nothing other than multiple businesses. So here I am, and here you are, and here we're discussing the conversation about how to do what we're setting out to do, which is impossible on the face of it. So I'm Michael E. Gerber. I'm speaking to you from Carlsbad, California. Let's see, Michael, what's your favorite book you've written, Kitty? Well, my favorite book hasn't been written yet, Kitty. I got to say that. I've got to say that it's constantly challenging me. It's the final book, the final book, the final book, the book that I write before I'm going. And I don't know what that book is yet, but the actual best book I've written of all the books I've written is EMyth Revisited: Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. Just love that book. In fact, if you've read that book, I trust you love that book, because that book has touched the hearts of literally millions of people. And by the way, we're going to be doing these sessions, these episodes, these calls every other week. And they become really vital when you have questions of me. In short, I'm not here just to talk. I'm here to engage with you. And so it's a singular opportunity for you to engage with me. It's like I say when I work in any of our programs, so many of the people who sign up for them. And I say to people, I'm here and I'm not going to say a word until you got to say something to me. And I just simply shut up and wait. And then somebody thinks of a question they have. It's remarkable. And when people come to a meeting with me without a question in mind, because they think I'm going to do all the work. I swear they think I'm here to do all the work. I'm just going to do something outrageously extraordinary. And then they're going to get what they need. And then they're going to go away and come back 2 weeks later and get something else. That's not the way it works, ladies and gentlemen, folks and friends, people and enemies, whoever you are. That's not how it works. You got to ask me a question. You got to ask me the most serious question of your life. You got to say to me, Michael, I'm about to burst here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea how to get what you're telling me to do. I don't have the patience to create a system. I don't have an idea in my head about what I would create if I were to become a Steve Jobs of whatever it is I'm going to become the Steve Jobs of. I don't believe I have what Steve Jobs had. Help me, Michael. What can I do? What can I do? You see what I mean? That's the kind of questions I want from you. I want you to go down deep and really be honest right here in front of everybody else. The tens of thousands of people who are going to be listening to you, asking your question and watching me respond to your question in the most authentic way possible. Hear me. I will do that, but you've got to do your part. That's the rule in Radical You. We will do that, but you've got to do your part. We love to say at Radical You, if you've got the will, we've got the way. Now understand, you can go out and get a coach, an executive coach, a mentor, whatever you call whomever you hire. That's going to be very, very expensive. And it turns out it's not the most productive way to go about doing what is in fact you're setting out to do. The most productive way is to be provided with a method and then to go to work using that method to discover within yourself what it is you're here to do. You understand what you're here to do is waiting inside of you, not inside of me, not inside of Rob, not inside of Luz Delia, not inside of Rob or Jordan or Jerry or Jim, not inside of anybody. It's inside of you. It's got to come from you. And the only way it's going to come from you is if you make your mind up to persist in seeking it out. You're here to seek yourself out. That's why you're here. You're not here to hear me jabber, 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 jabber. You're here to seek yourself out. And I'm here to do the very same thing. I'm here to help you seek yourself out. This is Radical You. This is an entrepreneurial think tank in order to do what an entrepreneurial trade school must do to awaken the true, the new, the blessed, sanctified entrepreneur within you in a way to create a new life. This is Michael E. Gerber. I want to thank you for coming and joining us today. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Come here prepared, though. Please Come here prepared. Come here prepared to ask me a question. Any question at all. Any question. There's no question too personal. There's no question too stupid. Just ask me a question and we'll get on our way. I want to thank you all. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. This is Michael E. Gerber signing off. Oh, and by the way, people ask, when am I going to be out speaking in the world? Well, I'm going to be in St. Louis, I think about next week or the week after. Anybody in St. Louis you want to know, check in with us and we'll show you exactly where it will be. Thanks, guys. Lovely. Wonderful to see you. See you soon.